Okay, gentlemen, quick introduction. Stats, say hello.
Hello, welcome to our lovely listeners and viewers.
Indeed.
Nice to have you on board.
Yes, and to the Gazelle.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Boys and girls, get to bed. And all our American listeners, good on Trump.
Good on Trump.
Go, Trump, go.
I have to say they admire your attire, sir.
I don't doubt they do. It's the best you can get. I've got two of these, I'll have you know.
They want to know. They want to know where Larry the transladder is.
Oh yeah. Oh, forgot about that.
Too late.
In the room, he was doing some work earlier on in the week.
Okay.
My fire stick went caboodle. So,
all right. Okay.
Larry came to the rescue.
This is a very serious conversation tonight. I mean, because what we're talking about here is the multicultural risk to our children. And I want to kick this off with what's been going on outside the Northamptonshire school, whereby the police have actually received complaints about migrants hanging around the school at playtimes and at going home times. Now, our expert on this is Stats, obviously. So, Stats, open it up and take us away on this conversation.
Cheers, yeah. Well, I think everyone's probably seen this by now. It's been all over the media, hasn't it? Reports of migrants from the local hotel, I believe, taking pictures of children outside school. Now, this isn't new. Again, this is a pattern of people who shouldn't be here causing an issue for our children. The staggering thing is when the police were called, I've heard one of the parents ring the school. They actually sound quite, the hotel. They actually sound quite alarmed. So they said they contacted the police. So, yay, the police come to the rescue. Oh, no, they didn't. They said, in their words, we're going to go and speak to them about cultural expectations and deliver some work around appropriate behaviours.
That's it.
That's it.
You know what? I mean, I'm reading up on some of these comments that have come forward, and you know, the locals have been reporting suspicious activity in the village over the last few months, and that is the best that the police can come up with.
I've got an idea. It's time to go Trump beast mode now. Sack them all, and then make them reapply for the jobs the next day, right? With new contracts, ensuring that they even step out of line and don't deal with this, they're gone, no pensions, nothing. In fact, you'd be lucky you don't go to jail. And then next step should be the government remove these people from the country, but they won't, will they? So we come back to this point again. We've got to remove the government. And then just remember to point out to these people their cognitive dissonance. You can't bounce around saying multiculturalism is great and diversity is our strength, while simultaneously telling us that people from other cultures are that much of a risk. We need people outside schools now to defend and protect our children.
Well, as you
sort your heads out, come on.
Yeah, as you say, Stats earlier on, it's not new. And it's not new, no, but it's actually growing. That's the problem. It's growing. It's becoming everywhere. It's in Altrincham. It's down the road from us. It's happening in every town near you. Remember Angela Rayner? All you towns are going to be getting migrants all over the country. That's what she said, and that's what's happening. The police rang me today, actually. They wanted to interview me. And I thought, don't know what that was about. Didn't even apply for the job.
Yeah, I've had that.
See, the thing is,
I don't know what that was about.
Why can't we have the Trump approach? Why is it that we actually are listening to them and the government is continually lying? They are allowing more people in, and it's not just these people. They are bringing in their family. Now, I think it was Matt Goodwin who turned around and said that there could be anything up to 50 members for each asylum seeker or illegal migrant coming into the country.
Wow.
And I was like, I couldn't believe that. Now, why are they allowing it? These people are low skilled. There is nothing productive about them in terms of what they can actually do for the country.
There is, they'll vote Labour.
Well, that's the only productive thing for Labour. But what is it that they're going to be giving to this country? I can't see any benefits. Go ahead.
I know, lots of more migrants. Funny you should mention that, Altrincham, Trev, because I think it was a few months back. They said they were going to drop 300 men in a hotel.
All
what
men.
did we say? Did we warn there might be a little bit of an issue?
Well,
Guess what? Now there's letters coming from schools in Altrincham. And like we say...
I've seen 7 reports. Sorry for putting
in there. No, go on.
Remember, I've seen seven reports, not several, 7 reports of people being followed home. Young girls I'm on about.
Yeah. It's all over the country. This has gone on from Dover to Altrincham to our area. So there was a couple of examples. There was one, I forget where it was now, but a migrant was actually in the school, on the grounds, talking to the pupils. There was another one where all the girls protested outside the school. Now, you had to look into this one. They said against rape culture. So now you're thinking, it's just boys, isn't it? But when you look at the case that actually triggered off all these protests, it was 4 Afghan boys who were accused of a rape, but they got off with it. And the girls are begging the teachers and the police for help, and no one's listening to them.
Well, yeah. Well, one of the other things is about, if you were thinking about closer to home, Cheshire Police. I mean, if you look at the report into them.
Well, we'll have a look at an example from Cheshire first. Again, something else we reported on in 2022. Undercover officers patrolling schools across Cheshire to protect girls from harassment and abuse. Sorry, why? Protect them from who? This is what the police said. Yeah. Schoolgirls on occasions have suffered abuse and some of the catcalling and unpleasant stuff that can go on. That can go on. Sorry, why is it going on? By who? This didn't used to go on, boys, did it? So Come on, Mr. Policeman, you want to tell us more about how we can protect our kids, seeing as they can't?
It used to be that there was an old thing in movies where you'd see builders whistling, at a good-looking woman, walking past. And it's
not what they mean.
I know that, but I'm just saying it in days gone by. But that went out the window. I mean, it used to be featured in films, where they were on top of the scaffolding and they go, "Hello, love, how you doing?"
Yeah, but your great woke MPs, all the hierarchy, the people that be, they brought in rules that say if you whistle to a woman, you can be locked up under all this new age stuff that they were using.
Yeah, they can take pictures of kiddie winkies, go to court, and be let out.
Yeah, but the point is, I mean, we've got this twisted society in this country. What they're doing is they're stopping a builder wolf whistling to a woman because he will get arrested, he will get prosecuted. Yeah. But these people are preying on our children, hanging around schools. That's okay. That's all right, that. And what it is, Stats, you've just said then that these girls are complaining and they're ignoring them. Are we not echoing what happened
in
throughout all the towns?
Telford.
It's funny you should mention that because that's where I'm about to go next.
Well,
if you want to carry on for a little bit, or should I just?
Well, the question is,
I'm fuming over this. We've mentioned it so many times.
The question is there a rape gang issue in Cheshire that we don't know about? That's the question.
Well, that is the question.
Well, if there is, would we know about it? And are the police in Cheshire and the council the right people to deal with it? So I think I've spoken about this one before. I handed the police a group of, should we call them, a minority group, who were trying to groom a 14-year-old. I witnessed it. The victim herself contacted the police. And you know what we were told, or what I was told, when I asked them, have you followed this up? Have you found these people yet? Sorry, but the chief says it. The boss says it's not his priority. Like, it was there for them. They knew the car, they knew the registration, they knew who they were. They knew there was other things in the car they shouldn't have. It was on a plate for them. And I reminded them that trying to steal a phone and trying to make sexual advances to a minor are both crimes. Not the priority. So we'll look at the police. I'm not saying the police are totally useless. They probably do a lot of good work in Cheshire. But we reported on the Peel report in 2022.
Yeah.
And it said Cheshire Police had a backlog of cases involving indecent images of children. And their monitoring of known paedophiles needs to improve. Has it improved? Why is there a backlog? Again, why aren't these questions answered? Who's responsible? Are our children safe? What areas are at risk?
Sorry,
Yeah, well,
Mark. You've got these.
just while he mentioned that, Trevor,
Yeah,
you
sorry,
have
go
to
on.
say that in the overall summary of 2122 from Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary and Fire and Rescue Services into Cheshire Police, there was nothing outstanding about Cheshire Police. And they had certain items they were required to say they were good, other items that they were adequate, and other areas in which they require improvement. Now, the require improvement, major things there, responding to the public, managing offenders. Now, biggies, okay?
Yeah, especially when they've got, history of something to do with children.
Yes.
You can't manage that, no.
No. They were adequate in these areas, investigating crime, protecting vulnerable people, adequate. Good use of resources. They were adequate in that. Recording data about crime. Now, if you're only adequate, then you're not going to get detailed reports on who and which segment of the community are actually committing these crimes, because they won't register them. So they're good at preventing crime? What? Good at preventing crime. I'd like to see the data on that proves that one. Treatment of the public. They're good at treatment of the public? And developing a positive workplace? Well, what is that? Is that, woke DEI? They're fulfilling all those criteria.
Yeah, the good at ticking their boxes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, what's worrying me is requires improvement, responding to the public and managing offenders. Now, that should be worrying people within the area, especially with the subject matter that Mark is bringing up. Okay, Mark, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, so we mentioned the police and then the council. Are they the best people to prevent or to look into things that are happening in the area?
Well, if you looked at SEND,
there you go. You look at all the safeguarding history. Again, I'm not saying the council are totally useless. They probably do help a lot of children in a lot of areas. But as we found with the SEND and SEND accountability, have been protesting about this crisis for months. They failed. Here we go.
And they were found to have been failed.
Yeah. Next one. Cheshire West and Chester leadership have refused request by a councillor to remove guidance that helps transition children behind their parents' backs without any safeguarding measures in place whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I can vouch that is correct. They've also failed to properly protect kids at Pride events. No safeguarding. This was all exposed by Mandy Clare, one of the councillors around here. We had her on a podcast.
Yeah.
And this one's slightly worrying to me. I've mentioned this one before now. There was a licensing consultation. Not many people will read or fill these in, but being a licensee, I thought, let's have a look. And I didn't expect to find this. They are advocating for more people to use licensed premises, even though they simultaneously state, ready for this, that nationally, evidence has been found of sexual exploitation of children taking place on licensed premises, and this is a biggie, or licensed premises being used for the purposes of grooming and enticement. Some premises are at risk of grooming, but they failed to tell us which ones. And to this day, they haven't. Now, I filled in the consultation and I requested that it's really important that they supply the information of which premises are susceptible to grooming so we can keep our children away from them. And to this day, I have not found that at all. So I've summed it up in this sentence. They are increasing the risk to our children while making it harder for us to protect them. And this all falls under the responsibility of the council safeguarding children's partnership.
Oh, yeah, the SCP.
They're meant to oversee. They have a statutory duty to protect children. Well, are they, though?
Well, the one thing that I find difficult to understand, right, is who are the three designated statutory partners? Now, they are Cheshire West and Chester, and they consist of the Chief Executive of Cheshire West and Chester Council, the Accountable Officer of Cheshire and Merseyside NHS Integrated Care Board, and the Chief Constable of Cheshire Police. Now, I've not seen anything, information regarding their meetings. Have you ever seen any of those? No. That's what I thought. Okay. And how do they operate? We know nothing about them. So these people have a statutory duty to actually do something about safeguarding children. So what happened with SEND? What were these people doing?
Well, we're tending to find out as well that you've got more and more of these groups, the paedophile hunters, for one. There's lots of them, all individual groups based all over the country that are actually checking out, seeking out all these paedophiles that are in hiding. They're doing all the work for the police.
Yep.
What are the police doing? Whenever the police are getting, warned about it, i.e. via Mark, they're not doing anything. They're letting everybody else just do it for them. There's all the information we've got. That's who we've been monitoring for the last 3 months. That's where they live. Bang. Dead easy. They're not doing anything.
And yet, if you look about what's going on in America, Trump signed an executive order to make the cartels terrorist organizations. So now it's taking it out of the hands of the police and putting it into the hands of the army.
The army, yeah.
Why don't we use the army to come and get these runts? Come and get them and sort it out.
Why don't we do a lot of things? I'll tell you why. Because of Europe, because of the rules, because of the laws, because of the
international laws and all these treaties. Yeah,
when we're supposed to be away from all that, we're supposed to be independent of all that.
Well, the sooner that we're out of the ECHR, the better.
No,
because that's what causes us so many problems. I mean, some of these rapists are getting, they're able to stay in this country because their human rights are going to be affected. And yet nobody talks about the human rights that they affected when they raped those people, those kids. And, it sounds like I'm generalizing, but, we can actually provide facts for everything that we're saying.
But there is no political will for it, is there?
That's the difference.
That's the point. Political will.
Well, there needs to be. Look, these problems can get sorted without international law, without the ECHR and all this nonsense.
Absolutely.
Enough's enough now. So Cheshire Matters is calling for all MPs and councillors in Cheshire now to agree to a local and national inquiry.
Yep.
Only then will we really see who's actually serious about protecting our children. So it's time to step up now or be known the ones who let this happen. Either we've got a problem in Cheshire and it's not being discussed, or we've got a chance to prevent it further down the line. It's a small chance.
Yep.
So people better do the right thing. Don't do a Sadiq Khan. Work with us on this. Put the kids before ideology for once in your lives, please. Yep. And there was going to be some FOIs possibly to the police as well to try and find out the scale of what's going on in this county. Because we know it's going on from the width and breadth, the length and breadth of this country.
And we want to know.
We're seeing little things happening and that's how it starts.
We want all the data of how many asylum seekers have been introduced in the area over the last 5 years, and then marry it up with the details of the criminal actions that have happened and see what's going on.
Especially around group-based sexual exploitation.
Correct.
And ethnicity, nationality.
Everything. All of that stuff.
Refugee status, a lot.
And if Louise Gittins and all the rest of them want to shout out racist, well, as far as we're concerned, the word is meaningless now. It's as meaningless as woke and DEI. It's already on its way out, and it isn't going to matter. The issue is, how do we protect our children? And how do we prevent anything that has been happening in other areas, which may have been happening in Cheshire? We don't know that because we can't get to the bottom.
Well, you say we don't know, but there was an incident where, let me just say, some people who probably weren't born here and not from this country were in Cheshire Oaks handing sweets out to children, and people have to scare them off. There's been a few things. There's been a few little cracks, and it's all building up, and that's probably how it happened in places like Rotherham and stuff, didn't it? At first, there was a few little rumblings, and then it escalated.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to know the truth.
Yeah, we need to
And
find
then
out.
we need to prevent it from happening because it's inevitable, let's face it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, then when it
Eventually.
starts to escalate, as you've said, what happens then is, well, we can't let people know because it can cause a
Disruption in the community.
a disruption in the community. So we have to keep it quiet. And then that's when the wicked spiral starts to get out of hand because they won't inform you in case they get vigilantes of some sort or they get reactions to it of some sort. So then it just becomes this catch-22, this vicious circle where they're hiding stuff from you.
I remember.
You're right, Trev. Sorry, can I just chip in? You're right there because there was another one in on the 16th of January, and this is in, I don't know, some local rag to standard. I don't know. There's adverts popping up all over it. I can hardly read it. It's so frustrating. Makes you just want to click off it. But Cheshire News, fears of men seen acting suspiciously near Cheshire schools dispelled. Now, those pictures online, I'm not saying it's definitely Cheshire, and it was definitely that time. It was in Cheshire East. But the police dispelled reports on social media because they didn't have the crime number that was attached to these pictures. So because they haven't received a call about it, apparently, then it's fine. It never happened. Like, what? Seriously? Wouldn't you think, oh, hang on, someone's took these pictures and given a crime number? Maybe they put a crime number there to just get the police's attention. Yeah. Shouldn't we look into this anyway and see if those pictures are from Cheshire in case there's a problem? Yeah. Or we'll just say no one's wrong, because nothing's happened. And that explains why you said, the peer review said then what, good at preventing crime, are they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What, when you won't even look, you just dispel it because no one's wrong you?
Yeah.
That's not preventing a crime, is it? That's waiting for it to be committed and then doing something.
I remember many years ago, there was an issue in Ellesmere Port Town Centre. And what I said to the police at the time, because it took them nearly 8 hours to send somebody out to come in, to take details and look.
Oh, you should have said someone was being transphobic on Twitter, John. They'd have been there in 10 seconds, mate.
It took them nearly 8 hours to come out. So then I said to the chief constable at the time, I think probably it would be a good thing if people actually put their money together and hired SIA badged patrols rather than rely on the police. Wow. The reaction to that was all of a sudden you started to see police in the Ellesmere Port town patrolling. All right. Now, the one thing that the police do not like is being shown up. And if police decide if the public decide to hire their own private security, the police can't do anything about it. And it's as simple as that. And if you hire your own private security, that contract is between you and the private security. So whatever happens to any supposed threats is out of the police jurisdiction.
That was going to be my next thing, John. What happens if no one's interested in looking into all this and the inquiry and the police can't protect our children? What next? Is it then down to the people? Is it then down to us to protect them ourselves?
Because I'm sorry, either that or private security.
If I get a sniff of any children, any migrants from maybe the hotel here or anywhere around here or near any of my family's school hanging around there, I'll be there myself because I know we can't rely on these people. It's all good and well and stay vigilant. Well, we'll wait 8 hours for you to turn up, and then what will you do? Go and have a little chat. Say, well, in this country, we don't try and groom children.
Yeah.
Really? There's your warning sign. In this country, we don't. Well, in their country, maybe they do then. Is that what they're saying? Not me saying it. It's what the police told us about Northamptonshire.
Absolutely.
Shoot the messenger again. I'm just trying to fix the problem, Yeah.
Well,
but again, it's always children, innit? Fed to the wolves by these. What were they? The adults are in the room now, are they? Well, it doesn't feel like it, mate.
No, it doesn't feel like it at all.
Does it, Trev? It doesn't feel like there's adults. It doesn't feel like we're going to leave no stone unturned. Is that what Kia says? These stupid phrases are pointless.
But as you said there, Mark, if they're actually trying to educate the people that we're on about, wherever the people are from, they're trying to educate them that that's not quite our culture. Well, that in itself is admitting is a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're too stupid to realise that. No. This is the problem. Some people are that stupid. They don't realise how stupid they are.
Okay, well,
you're right,
that's
Trev, you just hit the nail on the head. They're explaining the problem themselves.
That's it. We're going to call, and say it again, Mark, you're going to call them out. And you're going
Every single MP and councillor needs to get on board with this inquiry. Someone needs to put this through in council. Someone's got to do it because we can't leave any stone unturned. I'll
Call
use Keir
for it.
Starmer's phrases, but we'll actually do the job.
And get a recorded vote.
Yeah.
A recorded vote of who votes for it and who doesn't vote for it.
Yeah. Well,
And we'll be contacting all of them to see if they support this or
Indeed.
not.
Indeed.
So it's time to do the right thing. Don't do a Sadiq Khan. Please, this is too important now.
Indeed.
Just get a grip for once.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that was a very enlightening discussion about that, and we have recorded our views. Say goodbye on that one, Stats.
Goodbye. Has Trevor got any jokes to lighten the mood? Because that was
Well,
quite serious.
Say that. I mean, it's good
Please.
news. It's about a couple of statues in Warrington. It's good news.
Oh, good.
It's feel good things anyway.
Oh, we'll finish on some good news. Go on.
Yeah, in Queen's Gardens, you know where the old post office used to be? There's two statues there, one of a man and one of a woman. And they're both naked, and they've been facing each other for donkey's years. Anyway, so this angel comes down. I'll tell you what, I said, you two, you're exemplary. You've been here all them years. People keep coming around. You superb you've done. So I'm going to give you the gift. I'm going to make you human for 30 minutes. Poof! And he jumps off. They both get off the plinths. They're looking round like that, and it said, headed straight for the bushes. Could hear all the rustling. Branches snapping. They come out, smiles all over the faces. And the angel said, hang on a minute, you've only been in there 15 minutes. Gone to 50 minutes yet? And the girl turned around and said, do you want to do it again? He said, yeah. She went, right, well, this time, you hold the pigeon's head and I shit on it. So I'll leave you with that.
Wasn't expecting that to be.
Oh, I know, it's tickled me that. See, you got me laughing again now. She got me laughing.
That's good, that.
No, I'll leave it at that one.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I was like, uh-oh, where are we going? Quality.